Xilef, what is up, my dude? This is going to be a little bit different from my normal demo review because I'm generally watching team gameplay rather than matchmaking gameplay and doing individual analysis, but I'm sure it'll go just fine. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. It's pretty loud. And I'm just going to skip through warm-up, and we're going to go round by round. You were worried about your CT side especially, so I'm going to focus more on that than I am on your T side. I might skip through some T side rounds, whatever, but I'm going to try to watch CT through and through, give you a very comprehensive look at what you're doing. So, side note, the in-game leader at me is already pissed because there's no kit on CT side. I know it's matchmaking, but just a side note, you should always have a kit. This is a little over-aggressive. Your crosshair placement looks a little bit shaky. It looks like you're playing it like it's a matchmaking game, not you're playing it like to get better, you're just playing it casually. And so your crosshairs aren't always where they should be, which is fine. And you're playing a little bit over-aggressive, like you could be hugging this corner. Alright, you're falling off now. This is my first time reviewing it, so I'm just kind of going with the flow. A little bit of a shoulder, it's all good. And you're falling off. I don't like this angle. I think that there's a better angle here where if you're on the other side of this, you can hold right here. You don't necessarily get the entry when they come up to balk, but it's just better. You don't need to worry about headshot angles because right now your entire body is completely exposed, and if they're coming around this corner, you're only going to see like head, shoulder, and a little bit of chest, and so they're going to have an advantage there. What I like to do is I like to tuck up here and I line it up with the side of this box just a little bit further, so it's kind of like that angle right there. And so they're showing their full body, you're showing your full body, and you're the one holding the angle, so you're the one with the advantage. Side note, it's not going to be important because they're doing a hit, which you should be rotating on, but the comms might be bad. Right now you should probably be running over to hold the arches push. Just based on the intel that I'm seeing here, I don't know what the comms were like, but it's a little bit greedy, but you're catching them out, so it's fine. I'm gonna close this. I'm used to using that UI just for team play. Okay, so one of the things that I'm seeing a lot with you is greedy over peeking. You didn't need to be there. I'm gonna rewind and we're gonna rewatch just that little sequence there, where you're right here-ish. So right now you jump up here because you're trying to be cheeky and you're trying to get pot shots here, and they catch you out. So your cheekiness doesn't work, whatever. You should fall off at that point. You can hold this angle for a fadeaway frag, but right now what you should be doing is posting up here a little bit tighter against the wall. You don't need to be this wide. You're way too wide right now, but you should get this fadeaway, and if you don't hit it, just fall off. This entire repeak is unnecessary, and you need to fall. You still need to fall, but you're going to post up, and I don't agree with posting up here because you know that there's three, you know that they're flooding, you know that it's a Tech 9. You're not going to win this. And you get this first frag, and it's great, but like, you're solo B-hold. You're the most important player on your team right now, and imagine if instead of you going down here for a 1-for-1, imagine if instead you're back by spools or you're all the way back by emo because you had time to get back there. Like, they were about here, and if they're trying to chase you all the way up here, that's going to be about 6 seconds by the time they get there. You were back here. You're already gone in 4, and so you would have had time to get to emo, and then you're picking on the bomb carrier, and you're just when you're last man on site, your goal is not necessarily to get frags. Your goal is to delay for the rotate. So this guy's being slow as fuck, but this guy, he's got time, and if they need to worry about you emo, then they're gonna be looking here and they're gonna be swinging around this corner. Gunter's gonna come out, get the frag. They're gonna be like, oh shit, he's behind us. Take a swap, come out, use that bait, and then take the frag there. Instead of taking this fight here, you get a 1-for-1, obviously better than worst possible outcome, but you're the most important player on your team, and now look at it. Instead of having a CT hold emo with this guy fast rotate, they're not gonna see him. It's this guy's miles out, and this guy has no advantage whatsoever. He's gonna go down to fragger, I guarantee it, because he's just okay. Well, my guarantee was wrong apparently, but he's lucky, and you could have helped him way more by just staying alive. All right, so next round, eco round. I'm gonna skip ahead through the eco rounds. I hope nothing too special. Okay, so you won the round, you got an AK, so something special happened, but I'm not gonna rewind for it. So let's just watch here. I'm gonna try to avoid using that overlay thing. It's just a habit, because when you're reviewing a team, it's way better to have that overlay than to be watching one guy's perspective. So I'm just gonna be ready with the demo UI. I don't know what you're waiting for. Oh, the guy needs a 5.7. Right. So you should not be aggressive here, and you're not, so that's good. Especially considering that you needed to wait because that guy was stuck in spawn looking for a 5.7 or whatever. So I'm glad you didn't go aggressive there. I was worried that you might, because you seemed like the over-peaking type. Speed it up a little bit. I like that you're sitting here. It's a good angle. And then you fall off once the smoke comes in, because you know they have an advantage coming through smoke. I like that. This is a clean hold for you. And then I don't know what the comms are, but you see a lot happening at A. I think you should have rotated as soon as Gunter went down. Yeah, your rotations are slow. That's another thing that I'm seeing here. You should be less scared to rotate, and then you yeah, you can go for this retake, I guess. Either call is fine. Alright, so on that retake, what I noticed was you had molly flash flash, right? And so when you're here, it feels really awkward unless you know what you're doing with your utility. Bank a flash off here. There's a little gap in the roof. You can toss your flash through there. You can lob your molly. I'm going to try to... You see that gap right there? You can lob a flash through there and it'll blind out the guy backside or molly him. And one of the things that a lot of players do too often is they try to do too much on a retake. If there's a guy in graveyard, and if there's a guy in pit, and if there's a guy site, you are not going to win unless you decide to pick one and stick with it. So you came around here and you were like, okay, let's clear site. Site was clear, okay, let's clear pit. What I think you should have done is you should have come around, you should have hugged. Worry about either graveyard or pit, take your choice. It's kind of 50-50. And then dart straight into sight, take the fight here, get behind cover, and they'll peek out as soon as they hear gunfire. If they're graveyard, they'll peek out and try to take the fight on sight, but all of a sudden, you've got an advantageous peek because you've got these boxes, and they're swinging wide, they're showing their head, whatever. So I don't think that retake was as clean as it could have been, but I think it was a 1v3 or 1v2, so obviously not going to go too well. I'm skipping through the eco round, and of course you win it again. These ecos are pretty crazy. Let me get back to you. So, sorry that I have to keep reopening console. Anytime my mouse disappears, it's just how I get it back.
Remember, this is bandit country. Shoot everything that moves. Throwing smoke.
I'm always a little bit low, but nitpicking. It's one of the things that I do too often. I nitpick. Counter-Strike is definitely a game of who makes the least mistakes. And so that's why I'm very picky with what happens. Why are you facing this way? Why not face towards sandbags? Like this is what I'm talking about with the nitpicking. You could be facing towards sandbags there, and your gun's still hidden. One of the things that I really like to do if I'm committing to an aggressive angle like this, first off, your teammate's fallen off, so you shouldn't be this aggressive unless you're gonna play like a cheeky sandbag spot. If you're gonna crouch behind sandbags, one of the things I like to do is I like to pop a flash off of the wooden planks behind there, and the flash pops right about there, and then you can swing wide, take the fight, and then fall. Right now, what you're doing is you're just exposed, and you're like, I'm the best aimer in the world. I got a profile picture, a screen. There's no way that this guy coming around the corner is gonna win. But that's just not true. A lot of external factors play into that. It's not just you and this guy and your aim and his aim. If they decide that they want to throw a flash up there, all of a sudden you're like 95% chance to die. If they decide to play it as a cell and they've got two guys coming up, it's brutal. You're just a lot better off playing somewhere safer, playing sandbags or playing this corner so you have a real fall off. And it's smoked right now, and so I get it, but just my opinion, like the smoke's fading and you're still here, and it's overly aggressive. There's a lot of, like, you're thinking to yourself, I'm a good aimer, I can take this shot, but what if they don't give you the opportunity? What if it's a flashbang? What if they lob? What if they bank a molly off? It gets awkward. What if they come with 2? And here again on the slow rotate, you probably should have rotated 3 or 4 seconds ago, and in a retake, that's a big deal. 3 or 4 seconds. So it's another 1v3. I don't think you should go for this one and not. So yeah, I think part of your problem on CT side specifically, maybe it's just Inferno, is you're too slow on rotates, and you're a little bit too greedy with your peaks. You're not thinking what's the best thing for my team, you're thinking what's the best thing for my aim. And at this level especially, a lot of times you're not going to have the opportunity to aim. It's not. There's a reason that Scream's not the best player in the world, and that Fallen from Luminosity Gaming, in my opinion, is. It's because he's smart. He's not better at aiming than Scream. That's a fact. He's a beast-ass aimer, but he's just smart, and he just plays. He plays passive when he needs to. He plays aggressive when he needs to. He utilizes utility. Knows what the opponent can do. Blah blah blah. And so, you seem to be playing a little bit like your idol, and not too much like the best Counter-Strike player in the world, if that makes sense. So, sorry, I had the overlay up again. It just happened subconsciously. Again, this angle's a little bit greedy. Why are you here as opposed to back here? If you're back here and you hold like an angle of them coming up logs, or even all the way like there's an angle here that you could be holding instead of being in yellow car, because in yellow car your only safety is yellow car. You have no fall off for this wall. You should be playing around this wall and not this yellow car, because yellow car is spammable. Like, if they come around this corner, your best bet is to go right rather than go left here, because if you're going left, you're going to be exposed for like half a second. Instead, just take a less greedy angle, especially with an op. If you're trusting your teammate, then it's fine to go that aggressive. Like if you're playing with a guy that you know, or you're playing with a team, and they have your fall off or whatever with a flashbang or a smoke, or you trust them with their rifling. But in matchmaking and in individual play in general, that angle's a little bit too greedy for my taste. And that's why I think Guardian's a better opper than Kenny S, is because I just think that he's smarter with his angles. You're getting backstabbed, yeah. That's just bad luck. Your teammate's already up truck side, so maybe you could have gone apps instead. Maybe you could have wrapped the long way because you've got the op and taken the fight pit. You could have communicated, like, just chilled up by truck cubby. I'm going to wrap around arches, and I'm going to take the pit peak all the way through here, and so if they're fighting him. But matchmaking's generally not that coordinated, and so if I'm talking just about your individual gameplay, it wasn't inherently wrong there. So this is an eco, and whatever. Next. You could have gone a little bit faster because the opper took the shot. You know he's got to swap to the pistol or pull the bolt back, so you could have run like half a second faster at him. That's all I saw there, was you could have gone a little bit faster. But eco rounds are kind of a toss-up for whether you're going to go aggressive or play a stack or whatever. So you're playing that aggressive. You could have done it a little bit faster, but a little bit of lag. All good. Where's your fall off here? Where's your fall off on this angle? Are you friends with this Marcus guy? Like, do you trust this Marcus guy to have your fall off? And okay, so he is holding out the smoke. So maybe you do. Maybe you do trust him. He should smoke this. Why is this so glitchy? Okay. He should smoke this if you need it. So it's a good thing that I saw him holding out a smoke. But I don't know if you know him. I don't know if you're communicating that. The reason this angle works for professional players is because they trust their teammate. And so when you're watching professional gameplay and wondering what you should do, you need to think, are they doing this because it's a good thing to do, or are they doing it because it's a good thing to do with a teammate? And so in matchmaking it won't work out so well. I was going to say that I prefer A4 on the B hold, but it's just personal preference. Doesn't really matter. I don't have any problem with this. Okay. Yeah, you need to get into your angle. I like this angle. This is a good angle to hold. I'm not gonna like walk you through all my favorite B angles, but what I was saying on pistol round still holds on rifle. Try to see that angle that I was talking about on pistol, because on rifle it'll be really useful. It's like you line up with like the box behind your index finger behind the fountain. I'm not really able to demonstrate it here, but hopefully you'll be able to find what I'm talking about. And I prefer that to the angle you were holding on pistol, and it's good for rifle rounds too. If you're gonna be holding this, like, why are you not just spools? Spools has a better fall off point than this. Spools holds the same thing, and it has a better fall off point. You could be CT and be holding the same thing. You could be just better angles. And it's unnecessary for you to be there. That was 5 seconds of unnecessary risk. They just have more of a chance of winning. Like, you're right here now, and this is great. And now you're on the rotate. But the difference between the half a second run from here to get to safety here or here and the like 0.01 second safety to get to here, it's not worth this extra little bit because they need to funnel through this choke point. So just a little bit greedy on your angles. Same problem as when you were opping. It's just a little greedy. And it could be personal playstyle, and you could be like, I am the best aimer, I'm gonna hit this, but there's a point where that's just sometimes wrong. Like, sometimes it's out of your control. They get peeker's advantage. They come with 2 or 3 guys, and all of a sudden you're caught out. It's yeah. Sorry, I'm not very concise with my points. I just kind of try to make sure that the point gets through. So I repeat it 3 or 4 times, different ways. I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. So your teammate's going hyper aggressive, and you come in for the follow up. Apollo's not playing smart, is all I'm seeing here. And then you went back into that angle, that wheelbarrow angle, probably because you saw pro players holding it, but there's a reason pro players are holding it. They trust the guy they're on site with. So Apollo's trying to do some movement, you're helping him out, whatever. When there's a smoke there, this angle's a lot less greedy. Like, I'm fine with you holding this angle when there's a smoke. But as soon as that smoke fades, I want you a little bit more to the right than where you are now. Just a little bit safer. The kills will come, and if the kills don't come, then you're just not gonna die, and they're just not gonna win the round. So, crazy shot from Marius or whatever his name is. A little bit bad luck, but maybe a little bit greedy on the angle too. Just a crazy shot that he hit. I don't believe it. Eco round. Not much to review here, but I'll watch it. Kind of baiting Marcus a little bit, but it's fine. No big deal. Yeah, you want to play tight angles with pistols. You should be tighter to that wall when you took that peek about 5 seconds ago. It's just better. Just increase the chance of actually hitting a head. But again, eco round, not much to say. Let's skip ahead. Second eco. Deco, so we can see a little bit of your angle tendencies when you're rocking a deagle. And I guess this is fine, but again, you don't have a fall off. You had a fall off with a rifle, but you don't have a fall off here with a deagle. So if they're coming around and they're coming fast, your teammate's not able to help you at all. And I do think you're coordinated with Marcus because he's using utility and shit. Like he's got this flash ready for the peak. But yeah, there's no fall off, but it's fine. It's an eco round, you got the kill. 1 for 1 on eco's nothing to complain about. All of these tendencies might just be a product of the fact that it's Inferno, or like the rotation problem that I was mentioning earlier, where you rotate too slowly, like 5 or 6 seconds, which is big, really big at a higher level. That could just be an Inferno problem with you, but we'll see on T side if you still take overly aggressive angles, but aggression on T side's a little bit different. If you think I'm right in these generalities, and it's not just the map, then hopefully this will help you. Otherwise, this will just help your Inferno. That's the angle right there. It's a little bit more to the left. Like, I'm not stuttering it. I'm, like, peeking right where those yellow barrels are at. This is a better angle, in my opinion. Let them come. Let them come in. Walk into the meat grinder if you're the terrorist. I don't mind. Why take fights with them? They've got an AK. They're better at long range than you are. They've got either an AK or an op, and there's a reason that you always swap out your M4 for an AK. It's just better at long range. You're gonna do it right here. You're gonna do it right here. So yeah, just there's just no reason for it. Let them walk into the meat grinder. You don't need to be taking aggressive peeks. And then I'm looking to see when I think you should rotate. This frag comes in, you should be rotating. And it's just 5 or 6 seconds too late, in my opinion. Like, your teammate's already gone. And now you got a Steam message to take care of or something. It's fine. Are you wondering whether or not you should rotate or save? You should rotate. Just commit to the rotate there. And now you gotta play off of Marcus. You gotta get tighter. You gotta avoid baiting him. You see the smoke, so there's no real reason to be scared here. I'm just watching this right now. Not really able to provide any commentary. Spots out the big toe. Yeah, you should save here. You shouldn't have gone for that pit peek, but that's nitpicking a little bit. And then that's great game sense from you, making sure that you hold that Juliet angle. I like that. So yeah, a little bit slow on the rotate again, buddy. Just more of the same. I'm looking for any other glaring issues, but it just looks like more of the same. I don't like this angle for you unless you really trust this Marcus kid. Works out for you, but you saw, if they were a little bit more coordinated, if Sebastian were tighter with Ben on the peak, that's a 1-for-1 trade. It's all of a sudden a 4v4 round because you go down and you take down Ben, Sebastian kills you. It's 4v4, but that's a B player dead, and B players are worth more than any terrorist could possibly be. So that 1-for-1 doesn't go in your favor. 4v4s always favor the terrorist is a generality that I like to say to anybody that's learning to play Counter-Strike. 4v4 always favors the terrorist. Just because as a CT you're always split. And you're probably going to go for this retake because you're down on rounds. So let's watch in slow-mo how you take this as far as the angles and shit. You've got a flash, and I'm 90% sure you're not going to utilize it. 90%. Like, you could flash yourself out of this by flashing the wall directly behind you right now. But you're just scared. You can throw a flash on the side as soon as the smoke fades, but you're just not going to do it. You're just taking this peek. You're just trusting your aim. Marius is going for some sick 360s. Yeah. And here you're committing to the fight. You shouldn't swap over there, so I like that. I like that you committed to the one guy. But you should have used your flash there. And you should have spammed that box a little bit more, because you know he has to be there. Just unload your fucking clip on it. Unload your clip, swap to your pistol, look at pit, and run to sight in that situation. Don't give the other player time to peek, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if you get it already or not, but just unload your entire clip, get the kill here. If this guy even stutters a little bit, you've already got the kill, and you're like right about here. You've got your pistol out, you're taking pot shots, so he still has to be scared. He's a little bit scared, he misses the shots, and all of a sudden you have full sight control, he's stuck on pit, and you're advantage there. Unless it was playing on default, then still has advantage, but hopefully you know what I'm saying. Just hold this angle. Don't shoulder this. There's no reason to shoulder this. You're taking away your own advantage by forcing yourself to shoulder here. If you've been caught out by an opper there before, then tough luck, but like, he's just gonna have an advantage here. Like, now he knows you're there, and you could have killed him while he was hopping up. Instead, now you have to fall off, and Marcus is playing a little bit of cleanup crew with that smoke. And now you're gonna shoulder the smoke again. I just don't understand. Part of the advantage of the CT is you can just sit and wait for them to walk into your crosshairs. You don't need to shoulder all the time. And that's part of the disadvantage of the terrorists, is why their guns are cheaper and better. And then you should have cleared that angle cleaner. But, again, nitpicking. So we'll go ahead and go to the next round. Just smoother motion with your mouse. You were kind of, like, a little loopy. Just been smooth. But okay. Oops, that's a bad thing to click. And Valve's demo UI is going to be fucky. Let's rewind a little bit. I forget what round we were. It was the last round of the half, I think. So, not too hard to remember. Resume. Resume, please. Okay. I'm just going to play it from wherever it goes to. Resume. Awesome. Go back around. And we're good. Okay. So we got the last round of the half here. Near FAMAS by. Same thing again, you gotta trust Marcus here. Oh, I don't know why you went aggressive there. I got a little bit impatient and skipped ahead because I thought it was just going to be a hold. I don't know why you went aggressive there, but I don't want to rewind because we talked a lot about CT side. So let's go ahead and run through T side pistol and a few T side rifle rounds, and then I think I'll call it quits, and I'll post this on YouTube and reply to your comment on Reddit, and we'll go from there. Here you're just baiting. Never mind. Not so much baiting, just indecisiveness. Yeah, you're really passive on T side and a little bit over aggressive on CT side. It's interesting. Or at least on this pistol round, you're pretty passive. Like, you should have gone with Apollo there. You know that Arches is clear, or at least he's not peeking at that moment because Apollo made it out. So, you could have gone there and backed him up and gotten his trade, but you were a little bit too scared. And again, this is a little bit over aggressive of an angle. You can drop down and just get the information. Drop down below, like right into this cubby, and just get the info that Fragera is here. Like, all you did was 24 damage. It's the same as just trying to take pot shots through that little gap in the car. Like, and it was just unnecessarily risky. You showed your whole body for it. Alright, so that's the pistol round. We'll skip ahead to, I think this round. We'll see how you play this rifle round. A little bit of typical matchmaking going on. Yeah, definitely typical matchmaking with the mid peak and the TKing. Classic CS. You're passive. This is so strange. How passive you are on T side, how aggressive you are on CT side. That's not how it's supposed to be. I like that angle. You should pre-fire it. There's no reason for you not to shoot there, but I like that you took it. It's a good angle. If there was an opper there, you would have lost, but because you didn't pre-fire it, you should have stutter stepped and pre-fired, but good angle nonetheless. It doesn't matter if they know you're banana, because they're not playing a banana hold. And so, all that shooting there is going to do is it's going to bait out their smoke faster. One of the things you can do on B-side Inferno really easy is bait out utility for the CTs, so as soon as you shoot, they've got to respect you and they've got to throw down that smoke. If they don't, they're making a mistake that you can capitalize on, so shooting there would have just gotten the utility wasted faster, so. Anyway. Waiting. You and your teammate both just smoked arches, try to communicate that. I don't know what went wrong there. Just typical matchmaking things, but you should chase that frag, and you are. Okay, now you should back out, and you are. I don't agree with the repeat. There. I agreed with the initial chase, and then as soon as you saw it was on the corner, back out. But if you're gonna repeat that, you need to respect balcony all of a sudden. When you peek it the first time, you don't need to respect balcony so much because you could get a 1-for-1 trade. But on the second peek, you need to respect balcony, and balcony is what killed you. So again, a little bit over aggressive, a little bit not respecting your opponent's angles. Like, I want you to see something, and I want you to take a concept. If you've made it this far into the video, you're absorbing what I'm saying, so that's good. But I want you to absorb this concept really quick of thinking what it looks like through your opponent's monitor. So I want you to see how easy of a kill this was for Kane on you. So I forget when it happened. It was pretty late in the round. So skip ahead a little bit. Skip ahead a little bit. I just want you to see this through your opponent's view, so you can really understand that you just didn't make it difficult for him at all. So down goes Mark, right? And that's the bomb, and so centralize around there. So here's where you're chasing the frag, right? And here's where balcony needs to be respected. You go for the peek, he comes out, and then all of a sudden you're wide, and he's just got a free trade. Because you didn't respect balcony. I didn't see that you got the kill on Marius the first time, but yeah, just think about how easy that was for Kane. With an MP9, imagine if he had a M4, you're not getting that kill on his teammate, 100%. It's just so easy for him to get that trade. One more rifle round, and then I'm gonna go ahead and post this and move on to the next demo. And we got a T-side op round, so it'll be interesting. Because that's kind of your play style. You're on T-side. You're pretty passive. You're pretty scared of some angles. So that kind of indicates to me that you're more comfortable with an op in your hands on T-side and just angle clearing, not entry fragging.
Deploying flashbang. Incendiary.
Skip ahead a little bit. Wait for something to actually happen. This is too passive, in my opinion, but it's fine. Again, too passive in my opinion. You could get up here and you can take the fight arches, pop a flash here, and take an angle here, pop a flash here and take an angle here, but you're just waiting for them to play into you rather than playing into them, which is what you need to do as a terrorist. You take peaks that are advantageous to you because you're able to decide when they happen. I don't know what you're doing here. This is just unnecessarily risky for this P250 spamming. You should just be hiding, letting the AKs do the spraying. Good pre-aim. And now, hopefully you let your teammates go first. Okay, you do. Good. You shouldn't have the bomb as an offer in my opinion, but it's fine. It's matchmaking. What are you going to do? I didn't really like the way that you cleared those angles, but it was fine. Like, it wasn't a glaring problem. And then you're just not going to get away with it. Alright, so that's going to be the last round that I review. CT side, generally, you hold angles too aggressively, your rotations are too slow, and you bank a lot on your teammates being good, which is fine if your teammates are good, but if your teammates are bad, not so good. T side, you're a little bit over passive. And hopefully this helps, and thanks for submitting your demo.